Namaste everyone. Thank you for joining in this video. So this is an ongoing video series where we are discussing the placement of nodes in the various houses of the horoscope. And today we will be looking at the placement of Rahu in the 11th house of your horoscope and how it behaves if, how does it work if Rahu is placed in the 11th house. Before we get into the topic, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the content if you find it useful, and please do share with your friends and family if you think they could also benefit from the information that is being shared on this channel. So today's topic is about Rahu in the 11th house. And whenever Rahu goes to the 11th house, Ketu, of course, will be there in the 5th house. And this serpent, where the head of the serpent is in the 11th house and the tail is at the 5th house, this serpent is known as Vishadhara. And Vishadhara may be thought of as a poison pill in a monetary context because many financial deals or economic reforms involve some necessary sacrifice or repercussions of some kind. And such a native is likely to induce, the economic participation of others through some sort of forked tongue deception to his or her benefit rather than theirs. And there is often a focus on creating an easy flow of income through investment and speculation, or in fulfilling one's dreams and goals through participation in associations, clubs, as well as social networks. So these people can be very charismatic and, may be the conniving promoter of schemes designed to, engage a network of business interests. And these people, they may be adept at marketing his or her wares to social climbers who seek honors, incomes, office, or prestige. And despite the, shoddy nature of his or her deals, such native will usually make profits, while his or her associates may not be so fortunate at all times. However, these people, they may experience unanticipated fluctuations in cash flow, the favor of social networks, as well as the realization of their own hopes and dreams. Okay, so how does Rahu behave in the 11th house? Let's have a look at that. Now, generally speaking, Rahu's presence in an 11th house, in an Upachaya house, that means the 3rd, the 6th, the 10th, and the 11th, these are known as Upachaya houses. So Rahu's presence in these houses are always promising because, the 11th house is the Labhasthana, representing both the goal as well as the result of what we do in life. Now, for some, this thing desired may be fulfilled by a single acquisition or experience, while for others, it is something insatiable. Meanwhile, Rahu casts a shadow on whatever is desired, earned, or obtained by whatever means. And because Rahu is both insightful and ingenious, it is often capable of securing its objectives, although perhaps via devious means. So Rahu represents desire and obsession, while Ketu we know denotes ambivalence and detachment. So with Rahu in the 11th and Ketu in the 5th, this will indicate a bias for making money and developing social networks to further one's ambitions, sometimes despite a limited intelligence and attention span for one's responsibilities, for example, personal development, children, or even political commitments. The 11th house rules the legs, specifically the shins and the ankles. So Rahu in the 11th can indicate blemishes, discolorations, and skin irritations. And Rahu rules vermins of all kinds, insects, leeches, rodents, or snakes. And in encounters with them, ankles and shins are the most vulnerable to be attacked. Okay, so Rahu, a shadowy planet in the 11th house, suggests someone who is not transparent about your goals in life. And these natives may have a hidden agenda, but yet they are very much capable of fulfilling their ambitions because Rahu is ingenious. Okay, so Rahu is an eccentric or oddball. So the native may have aspirations that are unconventional. And, if they are not downright weird, these people will feel very, these aspirations will feel very strange or very unconventional as compared to most people. Okay, now Rahu also reflects our primitive impulses. So such a native may be motivated by irrational usage arising from the psyche, unacknowledged by the buddhi or rational mind. And consequently, these people can sometimes act like sleepwalkers driven by a blind compulsion. But because the nodes, they do not have the ownership of any signs, they are homeless, drawing energy as they wander around the zodiac. So in the 11th house, Rahu can indicate the ephemerality of goals and objectives, friendships and social connections, and even happiness itself. Okay. Now, the 11th house also rules elder siblings, and with Rahu's presence here, the native's elder sibling may be unusual in some regard, physically, emotionally, psychologically, or engaged in a typical relationship or work. And the same might be said of paternal aunts and uncles, because, any of them may harbor strong social or financial ambitions. Okay. Now, with Rahu in the 11th house, the native enjoys social mobility and diverse contacts through his or her elder siblings, his father's siblings, clubs and community organizations, business associates, and peers in artistic, financial, or scientific networks. And because Rahu rules foreigners and outcasts, friends may include an eclectic mix of ethnicities, bohemians, oddballs, innovators, anti-establishment types, and the marginalized, including the LGBT community. Now, such a native will always want to be well connected, and they will seek privilege to move freely within an achievement-oriented, economically successful milieu, using his ingenuity to crash barriers. And because Rahu desires worldly success, such a native is opportunistic and self-serving for personal gains. These people can be exploiters for others, a profiteer, or even a racketeer. Okay. And by zealous self-promotion, these people, they often get involved in things for which they have little experience or ability to handle. And Rahu's tendency to obsessively pursue goals typically produces some success, but its retrograde behavior almost invariably results in a stumble. And some sort of failure, haphazard misfortune or scandal is often brewing behind the scenes. And such a native is emotionally overinvested in material gains and social recognition. These people are easily motivated by mundane rewards and recognition, like salary, bonuses, prizes, plaques, trophies, awards, and applause. And when winning big is all that matters, everything else is sacrificed to achieve that goal. And because the native does not respect social boundaries, or protocols, these people will be rule breakers at the drop of a hat. Okay, they will break any rule for gain. And as such, these people may be considered as rogues and a threat to conventional ways of doing business. Okay, but he has the heart and soul of an oligarch. Now, although Rahu in the 11th may appear to be progressive, his rule-breaking tendencies will suggest that, this person is an opportunist who prefers an economic environment with few regulations, allowing his profit-seeking ventures, unlimited freedom. Okay. And although these people want to be seen as altruistic community builders, they are more likely seeking advantage for themselves and their friends. Okay. Similarly, the native may portray himself or herself as sympathetic to social networks, wherein, they seek access only to take advantage of his or her membership once he is admitted. Okay. So this is akin to a wolf being in a sheep's clothing, and only after he is inside the pen does he reveal his appetite for mutton. So these people, they are compulsive joiner of clubs and associations, which are actually a way to expand your social network for financial advantages. And political parties are at the pinnacle of his networking campaign, since that's where the major players are found, the ones who make the laws or allow the native to bend them. Okay. So political fundraising is at the core of such organizations. And with a malefic Rahu in the 11th, the native has dubious associates. Okay, so this is a red flag for cronyism as practiced by gangsters, oligarchs, and those who use secret societies, for example, the Freemasons, to access people of influence and power, seeking income through price, gouging, economic extortion, and other forms of ill-gotten wealth. Now, these Nagas who represent Rahu and Ketu, they have the power to mesmerize. So such a native will present himself or herself in society with charisma, cutting a swath of fascination among ordinary folk. And where charm fails, the coiled thread of implicit power succeeds. Okay, so Rahu is a shape changer and a chameleon. So in the 11th house, this will imply someone who presents himself or herself as one thing while concealing his or her true identity. The native enjoys tricking and manipulating others for personal profit. And such a native will always fulfill his ambitions via smoke screens, stagecraft, and other managed illusions. Okay. So these people may often be They are often involved in promoting schemes to engage a network of business interests. And these people will usually market themselves to social climbers seeking honors, income, office, or prestige. And despite the suspicious nature of his deals, he generally profits, but his associates aren't always so fortunate. Okay. So these people are usually obsessed with creating a cash flow requiring very little personal effort. He or she may get aggressive with investments via stock market speculation that verges on gambling. For example, options trading, junk foods, or even futures trading. Okay. So the sources of income may be unconventional and cash flow may be irregular. Revenue could come from pharmaceuticals, recreational drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and other stimulants. And because Rahu represents foreigners, income may also be derived from import and export of activities, foreign exchange trading, or even tourism. Okay. And because Rahu rules dirty or toxic things, money is earned through enterprise handling, garbage and sewage, industrial and medical waste, tailings from mining operations, animal byproducts like horns and skins, and as well as vitamins and pesticides. So Rahu creates and maintains illusions which favors, commerce and film, television, internet, magic, advertisement, propaganda, and even misinformation. And although Rahu in the 11th provides diverse revenues, its malefic nature means the native may pursue profit through illegal ventures. And these people are street smart and in in an exclusive club whose members will look the other way or bend the rules for someone who will break them anyway. Okay. So for people having this placement, foreigners will play a role in your success, paving the way for social connections or providing sources of income. And profit always comes through duties and levies, fee-based membership, as well as participation in cartels of all kinds. Okay, so that's it from me in this video. Do let me know if you agreed with the analysis, and I'm sure I'll be able to reply to your feedback in the comment section. So that's it from me in this video. I'll see you soon in yet another video. Namaste. Om Gurave Namaha.